Hey, I'm Rejected Shotgun. So while we're currently enjoying the anniversary update, the next update after the anniversary update, it's already been leaked. I know, I can't believe it either. The loot boxes have been data mined. The sound effects, the texture files, the models, everything. We know exactly what they look like and what they sound like. So today, I'm gonna talk about this. It may be a little hard to believe, but there actually has been a ton of data mined info about the new loot boxes in the upcoming event, and they are incredibly interesting. So this all started when a user on Twitter at MissChanix found a way to decrypt the anniversary patch much earlier than users were expecting. Normally, it takes a while to be able to decrypt the Overwatch patches and gain access to the sound effects and models and such. However, through whatever means they did, they were able to get into the anniversary update early, and they were able to find something in the files that goes beyond the anniversary update, which has been codenamed Event 7. And Event 7 has some incredibly interesting loot. So if you take a look at this image here, you can see all of the past events, what the loot boxes look like, and then you can see what they're actually called. Now you can see below Anniversary 2017 and below all of the anniversary loot boxes, there is Event 7, and its loot boxes are called Golden Loot. Now, that is not filled in by the program there. That is actually what the game has referred to these new loot boxes as, Golden Loot. And then, shortly after this person was able to find the name of the Golden Loot boxes, the texture for it was leaked. And as you would expect, the loot box is golden. This is what the texture file looked like. That is the texture for the Golden Loot box, and it looks very interesting. Not only is it very gold, but it's also got a lot of carbon fiber and a small metallic part to it. It actually reminds me a lot of the Anniversary 2017 loot boxes, only due to the carbon fiber on the sides. Now you might also notice that this loot box takes the standard loot box shape. If you notice the curves and contours on it, this is the standard loot box. Then, later, another user was able to decode the model for the loot box, and they were able to place this new golden texture onto the loot box model, and this is what it looks like. Now, to me, that is beautiful. That is a golden loot box in the truest sense of the term, and it looks incredibly valuable. Now, I could go and speculate for days what's inside this golden loot box, but we never see the end of it. Just when you thought it was crazy enough to be able to find out the next loot boxes through data mining, the actual sound effects for the opening of the loot boxes have also been leaked. I know, I can hardly contain myself. So, as you know, loot boxes open with multiple different sound effects, and there are 3 individual sound effects for this new loot box opening. So I'm going to play these for you really quickly so you can get a feel for what these sound like. Now, I don't know if you played the Summer Games or not, but to me, that sounds a lot like the Summer Games loot box sound effect. Maybe not exactly, but definitely very similar. And this confuses me because while this does sound like the Summer Games loot box noise, the Golden Loot box is certainly not the Summer Games loot box. The last Summer Games loot box was white and it had green and red symbols on it. I have a very strong feeling that this Golden Loot box is going to somehow be separate from these sound effects because they just don't match. If you listen to the sound effects there, they actually sound very tribal, and the actual user who was able to figure out these sounds was hypothesizing that maybe they are Numbani loot box sound effects, but we'll have to wait and see. Just saying, on the topic of Numbani, maybe they're Doomfist loot boxes, who knows? Anyway though, my theory for these golden loot boxes is that they're actually going to be like my super loot boxes that I was describing in a video a couple weeks ago. I think these golden loot boxes are going to be available sometime near the end of the anniversary event, or perhaps in the next event, but I think somehow these golden loot boxes are going to allow you to get any cosmetic in the game from any event in the past. Blizzard has said they're interested in this, but they haven't actually made any real comments about the reality of a loot box like this. However, after seeing the golden loot box, I am very excited for the possibility of a real super loot box. If you were going to make a super loot box that allowed you to get any cosmetic in the entire game without any time limited events, Gold Loot Box is a very good name for it, just saying. Now, who knows when these golden loot boxes will be added to the game, and who knows what this Event 7 actually is, but regardless of all of these unknowns, I would like to say thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. We don't actually know that much about the golden loot boxes, but what I do know is that you are a boss for watching my video today, and you should leave a like if you enjoyed. And you should also subscribe if you think this is a good video. And let's be honest here, this is a great video. Anyway though, that's all I got for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Like